Hauk wants to throw. Ball fake, throws it down the field. It's one-on-one call. Diving try at the 42-yard line, incomplete. Trying to get it to Andre Ford. He had man-man coverage there by Zydron Mays. Ball was underthrown and bring up a 2nd down and 10. But you got to like that opportunity. You've got a one-on-one coverage because these cornerbacks and free safety, they're all on an island here. They're playing man-to-man. You might see Parsons come back to that as well to try to take advantage of that man-to-man coverage. 2nd down and 10, 6:45 to play here in the opening half. Game was pushed back 15 minutes because of rains, thunder, and lightning in the area, but it's still cloudy, but it's cooled off nice. We shouldn't have any problems with weather the rest of this game. Ford goes out wide to the left. 2nd and 10, and a late flag. This will either be delay of game or false start. False start. Push Parsons back 5 yards. Instead of substituting players with the play from head coach and the staff at Parsons, Hauk is going over and getting the play verbally from his head coach every play. Now 20 on the play clock as he heads back to the huddle. Next Friday night, home game against Columbus. Make sure you join Scott Marlowe and Tony Fuentes on the call. 4 on the shot of the clock. 3, 2, they're going to have to hurry, and they're not going to get it off. Timeout's going to be called. We'll take 1, 2. 30-second timeout. Back after this. 20-6 Atchison. This is V93 Radio, the voice of the Parsons Viking.
Life is about movement, and the human body is like any high performance machine. When miles add up, parts wear down, and that's when pain begins, and here's where it ends. At Labette Health, our nationally recognized orthopedic and sports medicine surgeons use advanced techniques to reduce recovery times and relieve pain for miles to come. Feel like new again at Labette Health in Parsons, Kansas. For more information, go to labettehealth.com.
With many years of combined experience, Eye Care Associates of Parsons has set the framework in providing comprehensive eye health examinations for all ages and routine vision care for families throughout the four-state area. Our optometrists and staff provide remarkable care with state-of-the-art technology to help with diagnosis and management of eye health conditions. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your next eye exam. Eye Care Associates of Parsons. Experience modern eye care.
Yards, and then 3 plays later, knocked it into the end zone. And Atchison will have the ball to start the second half. Now Parsons has returned several kicks and have had great success with them. Let's see if Schultz and crew and Elijah Hunsley can grab one here and take it to the house. That would be nothing be sweeter than that. 13 seconds to play. Clock will start when somebody touches it for Parsons. There's the boot. Line drive kick. It'll go in and out of the end zone. Bonnell does a little bit of everything. Heck of a quarterback, this senior is, and also is a good place kicker. Got a good leg on him, and he booted that into the end zone. So now Parsons will have it 1st and 10. 20-yard line with 13 seconds to play. Might best be, hey, let's take a knee. Let's get to halftime. Maybe get the status on Chandler Henson. We haven't heard. But Henson on the initial drive of the night after having specifically what the injury was. Henson's on the sidelines over there. And then we'll have a flag thrown. And they'll pick up the flag. I think the head referee, Brad Williams, thought they didn't have enough men on the field. And then you saw Howe counting him, the quarterback. He'll be out of the gun and just takes a knee, which is a loss of 5 yards back at the 15, and that'll end the first half. We played the first 24 minutes. Atchison leads Parsons 27-6. Coming up on the Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show, we'll recap the scoring, give you our first half analysis, and get ready for second half football. You're listening to V93, the radio voice of the Parsons Vikings.
Labette Community College is meeting the need for an increased demand in qualified radiographers. Our radiography students will train on the latest technology in a hospital simulation environment.
I wanted to be able to go into a career where I could help people. And if you're going to go into that field in this part of the four-state area, LCC is the only place to come.
Tuition is nearly half the cost of universities. Scholarship and financial aid available for those who qualify. Text radiography to 620-293-6671 for more information or visit labette.edu.
Life is about movement, and the human body is like any high-performance machine. When miles add up, parts wear down, and that's when pain begins, and here's where it ends. At Labette Health, our nationally recognized orthopedic and sports medicine surgeons use advanced techniques to reduce recovery times and relieve pain for miles to come. Feel like new again at Labette Health in Parsons, Kansas. For more information, go to labettehealth.com.
Discover what you've been missing in Parsons, Kansas. Curious Minds Discovery Zone, a children's museum that inspires a love of learning, with hands-on exhibits for all ages to imagine, create, learn, and discover. Kids enjoy looking through microscopes, building on our magnetic ball run wall, creative play in our doctor's office or grocery store, and lots more. Discover, explore, Parsons, Kansas.
In 2003, Tank Connection founders envisioned a Southeast Kansas-based company dedicated to innovating voltage storage tanks, offering superior products and services through a customer-focused team. 2 decades later, and products in 64 countries and on 6 continents, this vision endures. Tank Connection employee owners are dedicated to a future where their shared purpose brings empowered realities to as many lives as possible.
Here's a bright idea: streaming without buffering. It's not 2014. There's no reason for laggy internet and buffering shows. IdeaTek has the technology. It's fiber optic cable. IdeaTek has brought high-speed fiber to 75 communities and counting. Don't put up with outdated internet. Stream without buffering. Another bright idea from IdeaTek.
Bowen Pharmacy supports the Parsons Vikings here, and here, and here. It's our goal to keep you covered. At Bowen Pharmacy, we give no excuses for you not to make it to the game. And it's always a great day to be a Viking.
Here's a bright idea. Make sure you put your pants on before leaving the house. Sure, it seems simple, but sometimes simple doesn't happen. At IdeaTek, we think it's simple to have real people who live in Kansas helping customers. We understand that not everyone in our industry agrees. Then again, not everyone puts on pants before they leave the house. We think it's important to get the simple things right. Putting our pants on and providing local customer service. Another bright idea from IdeaTek.
Halftime show presented by Eye Care Associates of Parsons, featuring Doctors Newland, Gilmore, and Ray. 27-6 is our halftime score. The host team, the Atchison Phoenix. Let's take you through the scoring. Key part of this game occurred in the first drive after a great kickoff return by Chandler Henson for Parsons that got them to the 50-yard line. They were navigating their way down the field, and Henson was hit. We're not going to speculate, but was injured, walked off on his own, but hasn't been back in yet. And he'd had over 20 yards rushing after that kickoff. And then Parsons ran out of downs on a 4th and 3, and 8:09 mark at the 14-yard line is where Atchison took over, and they're known for their high-octane offense, and it didn't take long. Third play of the game, an 86-yard strike from their quarterback, Colton Bonnell, to wide receiver Zydron Mays. The extra point was no good. At the 8:09 mark of the opening quarter, it was 6-0 in favor of Atchison. Well, after another great kickoff return, Parsons driving again, now behind the running of junior running back Dakari Jones, got into Atchison territory, but then Jones coughed it up. The fumble, the only turnover of the game, was recovered by Atchison. Didn't take long. A 60-yard run by tailback Leighton Boldridge at the 6:14 mark made it 13-0 with the extra point, and that's what it was at the end of the first quarter. Parsons then got the ball back and another good kickoff return. This one was by Elijah Hunsley, and after a good drive on a 4th and goal from the 2-yard line, Parsons went for it, and Dakari Jones' second effort got it past the goal line. Extra point was blocked, and with first play, 6 seconds into the second quarter, it was 13-6 Atchison. And then Atchison struck again at the 9:17 mark. Once again, Zydron Mays, recipient of a 22-yard pass by Bonnell. Extra point up and good. 9:17 to play in the second quarter, 20-6 Atchison. Then Atchison gets the ball back with 7 minutes left to play in the second quarter. and march their way down and convert a huge 4th and 15 on a pass to tight end Yogi Purdy, who's had a big game here for the Phoenix. That got the Phoenix inside the red zone. 3 plays later, a 4-yard pass to tailback Jeremiah Thompson, the 3rd scoring strike of the night by Bonnell. The extra point was good. That's where we're at. 27-6 in favor of Atchison in the first half. We'll be back after this with more halftime. This is V93, the radio voice of the Parsons Vikings.
Life is about movement, and the human body is like any high-performance machine. When miles add up, parts wear down, and that's when pain begins, and here's where it ends. At Labette Health, our nationally recognized orthopedic and sports medicine surgeons use advanced techniques to reduce recovery times and relieve pain for miles to come. Feel like new again at Labette Health in Parsons, Kansas. For more information, go to labettehealth.com.
Hi, I'm Shelby, one of the pharmacists at Bowen Pharmacy. Not only do we keep you up to date on your COVID and flu vaccines, but we also offer pneumonia, shingles, hepatitis, meningitis, tetanus, and whooping cough vaccines. Based on the latest CDC guidelines, we can recommend the vaccines to keep you and your family healthy. Thank you for always choosing Bowen Pharmacy. We're here today and we'll be here tomorrow.
Here's a bright idea: streaming without buffering. It's not 2014. There's no reason for laggy internet and buffering shows. IdeaTek has the technology. It's fiber optic cable. IdeaTek has brought high-speed fiber to 75 communities and counting. Don't put up with outdated internet. Stream without buffering. Another bright idea from IdeaTek.
With many years of combined experience, Eye Care Associates of Parsons has set the framework in providing comprehensive eye health examinations for all ages and routine vision care for families throughout the 4-state area. Our optometrists and staff provide remarkable care with state-of-the-art technology to help with diagnosis and management of eye health conditions. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your next eye exam. Eye Care Associates of Parsons. Experience modern eye care.
Our halftime score, 27-6. Parsons trails by 3 touchdowns. You're listening to the Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show with Doctors Newland, Gilmore, and Ray. And joining me now is Dr. Wayne Gilmore of Eye Care Associates. And 10 years ago, Wayne, you got into the radio industry and said, let's just do it and buy KK and bought KLKC. Tell me about that.
Well, it's the Skill Resource Center. We're the owners. It's a nonprofit there in Parsons, and they were in the position where they had to get rid of it, and we're actually gonna close it and give away the signal to someone else out of the area. We're going to lose our ability to carry local sports. I grew up as a huge fan of high school sports on the radio, and down at KKOW and KSEK in Pittsburgh, Kansas, and I had somebody call me and say, hey, let's get a group of people together, and it turned out actually my buddy Greg Chalker and I kind of went in together, and then he kind of got out, and so we've been doing it for since 2015. It was a great time to get in. It was right in the Royals. We got hot. The Royals, of course, won the World Series in 15, and those that don't know, Mark is an employee of the Kansas City Royals. But and then then the guy named Mahomes came along, and we're carry the Chiefs. So it's sports is kind of a big thing of what we do, and also along that time, the Parsons Vikings got really good. We had some generational talent come through. In terms of football and basketball, made some great runs, and then Labette, we also carry Labette County basketball and football. That's the county school, so it's been fun. It gets to be a lot at times. We've had 2 long-term employees, Karen Cantrell, who recently retired, who's been with the station for a long time, and then Annette Tucker, who's a board op and then known since the 70s as our news person at the radio station. She's in the process. She's retiring. So losing a lot of talent, a lot of institutional knowledge. And so it's rough at times with some of this stuff. We have some technical difficulties. Folks, it's not anybody else but me. The learning curve on this is, I've depended on people to, of course I have a day job, so depend on people to do these things, and when I'm putting my foot to the fire, it's not easy.
For 16 years in the Kansas City market, I did a high school game of the week, college. I'm familiar with Labette County. I was the voice of Johnson County Community College for 5 years, and they're on radio and their streaming services, and know how good Labette County men and women's basketball was. But there's such a joy of being able to present opportunities with clients to get them involved. And the feedback we got when I was in Kansas City doing local sports and local play-by-play, advertisers just like sponsoring and getting involved with youth sports. Yeah. Because you're out there doing the Friday night games, and I can't tell you, my wife is sitting about 3 feet from us here, how many Friday nights I was not at home doing high school, and we were doing Thursday, Friday, and then local colleges on Saturday. Yeah. But there is support, and you've seen that here with the fine sponsors that we have here for Parsons.
It's local. Local. It's hard to beat local coverage. It's hard to get local coverage. We're so fortunate down where we are. Even over in Pittsburgh, which is a large market, they don't cover all the high schools anymore. They do a game of the week, and they pick one game, and they used to have somebody cover every one. So we're pretty. I just our newspapers struggled. They went from a 5-day a week to now it's a twice a week paper, and so we got a void there. We got to keep filling in terms of the local news and local sports, and so we're gonna keep plugging away, and so much appreciate our sponsors. We have a long list. You going through Labette Health and Bartlett Co-op are 2 big ones that really support us a lot and help us with everything. If I need something, they're helpful, and as all these sponsors. And it's interesting. My partner, several years before I owned the station, my partner he's like me. He likes local radio. He goes, we need to advertise on the radio just to support the high school stuff. And so we've done it for many years before we jumped in. So
radio. There's radio small market. There's radio challenges in every market size, medium, large, and small. And news programming and sports are though something that you can't get on other things and other media, and that's why they're important. So, looking forward. Have you been here 10 years? Any things coming up here that you're wanting to do with the radio station?
No, I'm getting to my point in my career where it's my real job it's getting to be a lot. So we're looking at options. I promise when I get out of this, we're gonna find somebody to carry it on, and so that's the goal. I want to transition at some point, but not going to leave it high and dry. We're gonna keep doing what we're doing and try to. We got some young blood coming in, some young folks helping us, and we'll see what the future holds. But this is this live stream thing, folks. I'm sorry, it's we're at the mercy of the internet sometimes, and so that's the thing about doing video too. People get spoiled, and
Sure.
My buddy that's done this for a longer than I have warned me when I started with this. He said, "You start streaming, people are really gonna, and it's tough." So we got it rolling, and we'll keep plugging away.
Well, I appreciate you allowing me the opportunity. This is the second game I've had the privilege to call. A mutual friend of ours hooked us up, and it's good to dust off the vocal cords a little bit and do some local sports. Sure. And had a nice drive up here this afternoon, and glad we got this game in. So appreciate it.
Those that are watching this, those that don't know, Jim Smith was a longtime coach here at Atchison. He was actually my high school assistant. He was an assistant when I was a senior in high school at Colgan High School. His brother Chuck was my coach and longtime coach. But I walked in here and saw this beautiful field, this beautiful turf. It's only the second game they played on it. They this year they've had to play away because the track wasn't done. The field just finished, so they just got this new turf field this year. So
this is a magnificent facility. Hey, we appreciate it, Wade.
All right,
thank you very much. We'll be back in second half action straight coming to you. About 2 minutes until the second half kickoff. 27-6 Atchison. Parsons got some catching up to do. This is V93, the radio voice of the Parsons Viking.
Life is about movement, and the human body is like any high-performance machine. When miles add up, parts wear down, and that's when pain begins, and here's where it ends. At Labette Health, our nationally recognized orthopedic and sports medicine surgeons use advanced techniques to reduce recovery times and relieve pain for miles to come. Feel like new again at Labette Health in Parsons, Kansas. For more information, go to labettehealth.com.
In 2003, Tank Connection founders envisioned a Southeast Kansas-based company dedicated to innovating bolted storage tanks, offering superior products and services through a customer-focused team. 2 decades later, and products in 64 countries and on 6 continents, this vision endures. Tank Connection employee owners are dedicated to a future where their shared purpose brings empowered realities to as many lives as possible.
Here's a bright idea: streaming without buffering. It's not 2014. There's no reason for laggy internet and buffering shows. IdeaTech has the technology. It's fiber optic cable. IdeaTech has brought high-speed fiber to 75 communities and counting. Don't put up with outdated internet. Stream without buffering. Another bright idea from IdeaTech.
You're on the Eye Care Associates of Parsons, featuring Doctors Newland, Gilmore, and Ray. Halftime show. Thanks to Wayne Gilmore for jumping in and talking a little radio business. Put another 3 minutes onto the clock. Taking a look at going forward here for Jeff Scheibe's team. Again, Jeff's in his 6th year, 3-3. Fort Scott, Baxter Springs, Neodesha. Combined 17-2 in their 3 losses are teams like Labette County, a good rival game, Christ Prep Academy, a homeschool team, which is one of the best in the country, and a good Frontenac team. Coming back next week, back home in Parsons, Vikings will take on Columbus and then get ready for first-round playoffs on Halloween night. So that'll be interesting to see where this 3A Kansas class high school team will end up. Get some work to do here. See what the status of leading running back Chandler Henson is. Again, Henson was hurt in that initial drive. We talked about that at halftime. On the flip side, looking at Jordan Malcolm's again, in his first year here. He was 2 years defensive backs coach before he took over, as Wayne talked about Jim Smith's 27 seasons here. They're 3-3. Coach Malcolm was a defensive back for Larry Wilcox, a legendary college coach here for the Benedictine Ravens. Done some games with Avila University years ago, and Coach had a chance to meet Coach Wilcox. This is a team that, coming into this game, we knew they had offense, and they have shown that with some big plays tonight. Parsons has hung in there after getting stung back-to-back and knocked to the canvas, but got up and fought their way, trailing 27-6, but still playing hard, and that's a tribute to their head coach, Jeff Scheibe. Next week, they're 3-3. Next up for them is KC Wyandotte. They are 2-1 in district play. We'll be back in 30 seconds with second half kickoff coming your way. This is Z93, the radio host of the Parsons Vikings.
Life is about movement, and the human body is like any high-performance machine. When miles add up, parts wear down, and that's when pain begins, and here's where it ends. At Labette Health, our nationally recognized orthopedic and sports medicine surgeons use advanced techniques to reduce recovery times and relieve pain for miles to come. Feel like new again at Labette Health in Parsons, Kansas. For more information, go to labettehealth.com.
Our video stream for tonight's game is powered by Labette Health. You've been listening to the Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show featuring Doctors Newland, Gilmore, and Ray. So 27-6, Parsons will have to kick off here to start the second half. Only one turnover of the game, but that probably cost Parsons points on the Dakari Jones's fumble, but that's been it. Parsons has been able to move the football. Some nice quick passing has moved the ball. They're going to have to get a stop or get a turnover. Adam Reel. Check that. It's going to be Dylan Hazen will do the honors and kick the football off. Hazen, 6 foot, 155-pound sophomore. Back to receive will be Boldridge. And back in action is Zydron Mays. Mays had limped off a little bit at the end of the first half. Didn't want to, but did so. There's a kick, a squib kick. It'll hit at the 30. It stays infield. The ball is loose. Who's got the football here? That hit Mays, and did he come up with it? Yes, he did. He was able to hang on to it. That squib kick looked like it was going out of bounds at the 30. Stayed in bounds. It hit Mays in the chest as he slid to catch it or to get on top of it. Ball was loose, but goes back to the 26, but stays with Atchison. 1st and 10. 3 touchdown passes in the first half by senior quarterback Colton Bonnell. Bonnell's got a lot of weapons at his disposal. Man-to-man coverage on the wide receivers. Man in motion, that's Mays. Handoff, trying to break to the outside, some room to run after the 30. Then runs back across the field, and still on his feet is Boldridge. Boldridge reverses momentum to midfield, to the 45, makes a man miss, and finally wrestled down at the 44-yard line. Huge run of 35-plus yards, zigzagging all over the field, and now running off to get a well-deserved rest is Leighton Boldridge. We saw how good Boldridge was at the 6:14 mark of the first quarter when he took it 60 yards to pay dirt. Again, this is an Atchison team that put 55 against Harmon, put on 55 against Sumner Academy, and lost a 82-44 game to Washington. A bad snap. Ball is loose back at the 40-yard line, and the quarterback falls on it about the 41. Bad snap from Grady Clark, the center. Opportunity, but ball bounces into Bonnell's chest. And he'll push it back all the way to the 41-yard line. That's a 19-yard loss and brings up second and bunch. They're calling it second and 24. The right hash, the 41-yard line. Trips to the near side, man-to-man coverage. Largent's out there on Mays. Back to throw, play action. Throwing it long down the field, one-on-one. Jump ball is going to be caught by Mays at the 25. 20-15 and tackled at the 4. Junior Jakari Green tried for the interception. It went over his outstretched arms into the hands of Mays. Another big play, and knocking on the door at the 14-yard line is Atchison. Bonnell with a howitzer of an arm. There's the snap. Handoff Boldridge. Boldridge scoots down to the 5, to the 2, to the 1, and just short of the end zone. His knee hit at the 2. Substantial gain, and Atchison knocking on the door. Let's give credit to this front line of Barnes, Honeywell, Clark. Blakely's in there. Avante Hausch battle as well. This front line has done the job, and there's flag goes down. Short of the end zone is Boldridge. And then first and goal play. Flag was thrown about the 6-yard line. This might be a hold. Get the call from head referee Brad Williams. It's going to be holding. That'll push the Phoenix back 10 yards. 9:55 to play. Third quarter, 27-6. Jack Bilderback, number 20, will check in the lineup. First time we've called his name. Coming out is Boldridge. Atchison has playmakers all over the field. What a test here for this Parsons team. You only can get better playing teams that are this good, and this is really a high-octane offense. 9:39 to play. Flag goes down. That might be a false start as well. And it is. It'll cost Atchison 5 more yards, going in the wrong direction. And Jordan Malcolm isn't going to like that. Couple of flags and moves it back to the 17. It'll be first and goal at the 17-yard line. 9:37 to play. Here in the third. Parsons' defense has been on the field a lot in the second half of the second quarter. And for the first 2.5 minutes here in the opening third of the third quarter. Bonnell has plenty of time. Pocket collapses, throws the back of the end zone, nearly intercepted, but a sliding catch, touchdown. Jakari Green went right through his hands, and guess whose hands it went into? Junior Zydron Mays, again, a 17-yard catch. His third touchdown of the game. And an extra point away from a 34-6 lead. The pocket started to collapse a little bit on Bonnell, and he stepped up a step and fired a laser. I thought Green had a chance to get an INT. Extra point is up. Good. We'll take a break. 30-second break. 9:14 to play. Third quarter. 34-6 Atchison. You're listening to Z93. Parsons Vikings.
Hi, I'm Shelby, one of the pharmacists at Bowen Pharmacy. Not only do we keep you up to date on your COVID and flu vaccines, but we also offer pneumonia, shingles, hepatitis, meningitis, tetanus, and whooping cough vaccines. Based on the latest CDC guidelines, we can recommend the vaccines to keep you and your family healthy. Thank you for always choosing Bowen Pharmacy. We're here today and we'll be here tomorrow.
A 17-yard pass completion from Colton Bonnell to Zydron Mays. His third touchdown of the night. Extra point by Bonnell. Good. 9:14 to play in the third. 34-6. As memory serves me right, Atchison has scored on every possession of this game. And that's what the coaching staff of Parsons feared with this kind of offense. Let's see what Parsons can do here. Get a good drive. Let's get some points on the board. Short kick. It's going to be fielded at the 16, to the 20, 25, 30. Makes a man miss. Stays on his feet to the midfield. Once again, a great run all the way to the 44-yard line. That's Caden Forbes. The special teams kickoff return, Parsons A+, baby. They have been all over it. They found a wedge, and Davis said, I'm running to pay dirt, and doggone it, he almost did. Gets it to the 44-yard line. So now Parsons, short field to operate. If the Vikings get in here and get a touchdown on the board here with 9:05 to play in the third. Scabbert, Napper, Ball, and Quincy across that front line. Quarterback Andrew Hauk. Dakari Jones has been the ball carrier since Chandler Henson. That's too bad. Chandler Henson's one of the best high school players in Kansas. Great running back. Got injured first drive of the game. Out route's going to be incomplete. Skipped the ball. Trying to get out to Andre Ford, and it'll bring up second down and 10. But Hauk comes out throwing the football at the 44-yard line. Atchison has given up some points this year. No doubt about it. In some of their games, the 82 we mentioned earlier. The Parsons going to have to come back and get some points on the board here, and there's a good opportunity to do that. Second and 10 at the 44-yard line. Man in motion. Fakes a handoff. Wide receiver screen. Ford's got it to the 40. Zigzags back. Loses a couple of yards. Stays on his feet. Tries to get to the crisscross. Does to the 40. The opposite side of the field. Down to the 30. And is pushed out of bounds. And a combo tackle about the 25-yard line. What a run by this sophomore Andre Ford. Remember that name, folks. This young man has 2 more years, and he is full of excitement. Turned a wide receiver screen pass on the left side of the field, which would have gone maybe for 3 or 4 yards, into a big gain of 18 yards to the 26-yard line in Atchison territory. So getting close to that red zone with 8:49 to play. Hauk and company come to the line of scrimmage. Dakari Jones on the left tip of the QB. Twins to the far side. Banyan, the tight end, on the right side of the line of scrimmage. Hauk, hard count. Handoff to Dakari Jones. Makes one man miss, then runs into a host of Phoenix at the 25, a hard-earned yard, and I mean hard-earned. Second down and 9. Once again, Hauk runs over and gets the play from the offensive coordinator or head coach. Each time, that burns a little bit more of that clock. I think you stay with your game plan here. You're trying to build off this team. It's tough to win on the road anywhere you go. Trying to build on this game. Get some success here in the second half. Carry that into the Columbus game next Friday at home, and then into the playoffs 2 weeks from tonight on Halloween. Twins to the far side. Andre Ford out far to the left. Out of the gun. Lone receiver to the right. Hauk fakes the handoff, throws across the middle. It's going to be caught at the 15, down to the 10. Pushing, driving. That's Wyatt Schultz, it looks like. All the way to the 6-yard line, and then a late flag comes in. Thrown by the head referee, Brad Williams. See what they're going to get on this. This might have been a little extracurricular activity once that play was over. We talked about coming back to that play again that worked in the first half, that quick slant, and how put it on a dime, and now within the red zone, all the way to the 6. Trying to get some verification here, and here we come, on what that penalty was thrown, what the flag entailed. Personal foul, Atchison. We'll just tack on some yards to that. That should make it 1st and goal now here for the Vikings. Jordan Malcolm gets his explanation from the head referee on what he saw. But now the ball is inside the 5. They'll mark it at the 3. First and goal at the 3 for Parsons. 7:50 to play. Third quarter, 34-6. Trying to cut into that deficit right now. Look for a heavy dose here of Dakari Jones. There's a center exchange. Handoff Jones. Pushes, drives. Does he have it? Touchdown. 3-yard touchdown run. His second of the night for Dakari Jones, the junior. Put his head down. Got good push from that offensive line. Napper and Gabbard on that left side. Followed those two guys into the end zone. Touchdown. Parsons. 7:37 to play here in the third quarter. Makes it 34-12. Now go for 2 time. Again, what set this up was a magnificent return, again on the kickoff, which has been amazing here for Parsons and what they've done there, and that was Caden Forbes. They'll go for 2 from the 3-yard line. Same formation, twin stack to the far side. They'll throw that way and underthrows his receiver. Hauk skipped it, had a wide receiver screen, and then a late flag is thrown again. Let's see what this is. If it's a defensive penalty, they'll have a chance to do something. Maybe have a chance to run this play against Parsons. They'll mark it off on the kickoff. Referees have been busy from the second quarter on, folks, no doubt about it. The laundry has been littered all over this beautiful new stadium and field here in Atchison. Referee still huddled about the 3-yard line, trying to get some kind of definition exactly what somebody saw. Earlier that happened, and a penalty that looked like called on Atchison ended up being called on Parsons. Let's see what they're talking about. Again, a good drive capped off of that 3-yard run by Dakari Jones. Jones came into this game with 2 touchdowns. He's doubled that. He's doubled it in this game. Filling in for the injured Chandler Henson. And Henson had a big first drive of that game on the kickoff and running before he got injured. Still nothing called as of yet. Here we go. Personal foul. Personal foul against Atchison. Now, if it was a dead ball foul and the play was over, they'll mark it off on the kickoff, and that's apparently what it is. So now if you're Jeff Scheibe, you're thinking, okay, we're going to move 15 yards ahead. Let's kick an onside kick and try to get that football back. So the linesman will mark it off in the 40. They'll move this to the 45, so great opportunity here to kick an onside kick. They nearly got the first one in the start of the second half. That was squibbed and hit off the chest plate of Zydron Mays, but he was able to fall on it. Still taking a lot of time to get this figured out, folks. Penalty was called. Players are ready. Officials are set, and we're ready to kick. Let's see how they play this. To do the honors is Dylan Hazen. Hazen, the sophomore, right foot kicker. See what they do with this. They play for the onside kick and try to get the football back, trailing 34-12. He does. Short kick. Ball's still loose on the deck. Who fell on it? Looks like Atchison got on top of it. They muffed it early, but we're able to fall on it. That's James Earl, backup tight end and defensive lineman. So Atchison keeps the football. Like the play, though. Like the play call from Jeff Scheibe. Why not? Try for the onside kick. Try to get the football back and make it a 2-score game. Now Parsons will have to dig in. First one over the ball, nose tackle, Xavier Ball, number 66. This 4-man front. 7:37 to play, third quarter, 34-12. Trips to the far side. Yogi Purdy, and then 2 Parsons players jumped. Were they drawn off sides or not? Apparently not. They'll mark it 5 yards off against the Vikings and move the football up to the 36-yard line. That hard count by experienced quarterback Colton Bonnell. Same formation. Boldridge to the right of the quarterback. The run option. Pitches out to Boldridge. Largent trying to chase him. Can't find him. Can't grab him. Gets to the 40. Going to have enough for the 1st and 10 off the 5-yard penalty. And they'll push him out of bounds or close to out of bounds on the far side of the field. They'll pick up 9, move it out to the 44-yard line on the left, on the right hash, going right to left here at Amelia Earhart Field. Actually, they moved it all the way to the 45. So 1st and 10, new set of downs for Atchison at the 45-yard line. Clock continues to run inside of 7:20 at the 3rd, 34-12 Atchison. Trips to the near side, lone receiver up top. Fakes the pitch, throws it back across the way, and's got a man. That's going to be Martin. Martin's going to be tugged down. They're going to get it looks like maybe a face mask. A couple of flags come flying in there as junior Noah Martin makes his first catch of the evening. Short gain, good pursuit. Dangerous throw that time by Bonnell as he faked to his left, spun around, and fired one to the right to Martin. But another penalty hits another penalty flag hits the turf. Is this maybe multiple fouls or just the same call? Let's get the explanation. Face mask. And so they'll mark it off from the point of infraction at the 45. And this is a major one, 15 yards. Move it to the 44-yard line in Parsons territory at 6:52, clock running. There's the snap. Bonnell throws an out route. It's going to be caught once again by Martin. Or check that. That's Jeremiah Thompson. Thompson finally wrestled down, but it took a host of Parsons Vikings to do it. Braylon Summers from his defensive end position came into this game with 47 tackles, put the finishing touches on the wide receiver. Moves the chains, 1st and 10 again. Atchison has not been forced to punt. In fact, we haven't seen very many punts at all in this game, either by Parsons. Man-to-man coverage on 4 receivers in the pattern. No tight end. Bonnell throws across the way, wide open at the 25-yard line. 20, 15, that's Zydron Mays. Mays found the hole. Didn't look like it was zone coverage. He just ran a route and putting it right on target was the quarterback Bonnell. So move the chains inside the red zone at the 14, just a yard off the right hash, the 6-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. Atchison trying to tack on another. They lead it 34-12, 5:52 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Once again out of the shotgun, which has been 100% of the time. Handoff straight ahead, out of the 5, 3, 2, 1, touchdown. Leighton Boldridge takes it in from the 15-yard line. At the 5:31 mark. And that makes it 40-12 in favor of Atchison. Extra point now attempted by Bonnell. Clark will snap it. Yogi Purdy will hold it. Bonnell's been perfect. Ball down, kick is on the way, it's blocked. Nice job inside rush. And the extra point is no good at the 5:31 mark. We'll take a 30-second break. This is Z93, the radio voice of the Parsons Vikings.
Here's a bright idea. Streaming without buffering. It's not 2014. There's no reason for laggy internet and buffering shows. IdeaTech has the technology. It's fiber optic cable. IdeaTech has brought high-speed fiber to 75 communities and counting. Don't put up with outdated internet. Stream without buffering. Another bright idea from IdeaTech.
This game brought to you by Clemens Insurance Agency, Labette Health, Elm Haven Nursing Home, and Woodridge Estates, all proud sponsors of Parsons High School football. 5:31 to play. Third quarter, 28-point margin. As Parsons' defense has just not had the answer to stop this potent offense for Atchison. They are as advertised coming into this game and looking at the scores and the amount of offense that they put up. They are the real deal. But again, Parsons has another chance to make a dent, get a good drive, and see if they can do what they've done and return these kickoffs. That ball is fielded at the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, on his feet, 45, driving, pushing, yearning for yards, and out to the 50-yard line. Give it up to Caden Forbes. Herculean effort by Forbes. And that moves it to the 50-yard line. What a run on the kickoff, on a line drive kickoff, fielded and taken back to the 50-yard line. About a 30-yard run, and once again in great field position here for Parsons. With 5:20 to play, third quarter, 40-12 Atchison. Parsons has a chance to put more points on the board. The 3-hour trip up from Parsons here to Atchison. Coach told me they left about 10:30 this morning, was able to tour the new Kansas Stadium, see the locker room, so made the most of the trip here to Atchison. Handoff, straight ahead. Looked like maybe a face mask, nothing called as Dakari Jones rumbles his way on the right side of the line of scrimmage. Helps up the defensive player for Atchison and rumbles for 8 yards. Dakari Jones has really had to carry the load since Chandler Henson went out. And down 40-12, you're not going to see Henson tonight. They'll rest him, get him ready for the Columbus game, which you can hear right on Z93 next Friday night. That's a home game. 2nd down and 2. Out of the shotgun formation. Houck's gone the distance. Handoff Jones. Makes a man miss. Runs over a man. Then gets clobbered and dropped at about the 34-yard line. Enough to good pickup. Move the chains. Another 1st and 10. For having 8 in the box and playing off the run and really defending in the run, Parsons has done a nice job tonight moving the ball on the ground, and some quick hitting passing routes have turned their way as well. And most importantly, only one turnover here tonight on the fumble on the second possession of the game, which might have cost Parsons some points when the game was still relatively close. Handoff Jones, makes a man miss. Nice zigzag move at about the 33-yard line. That cuts it back up inside in between the tackle and runs it inside the 30 to the 29. A lot of movement there to get 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 5. They need to make just inside the 25-yard line for a new set of downs. 3:27 to play here in the third quarter. 40-12 Atchison. But Parsons is knocking on the door again as Jones comes out of the game. gets a well-deserved rest. See if they go empty backfield. Nope. It'll be running back to the left side. That'll be Hunsley. Elijah Hunsley. Hawk the QB. Barking signals. Fakes the handoff. Pump fakes and gets dropped. Nice move inside on the rush. They were able to swallow up the quarterback. Getting there was Avante Hauschbattle leading the ways, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 14 for Parsons back at the 43-yard line in Atchison territory. No doubt about it, you're into 4-down territory here with 2:19 to play and trailing 40-12. Jones is back in the lineup. Looks like this might be Wildcat formation. Trying to get the number of the quarterback here. Is that Preston Heitman? Preston Heitman's checked in the lineup here. The sophomore, just 3 for 11, 1 pick and 1 touchdown for 57 yards. But he's in the lineup now after Houck took that spill. Twins to the near side, 3 in the pattern. Heitman wants to throw and then hands off. Dakari Jones is going to be stood up and wrestled down. And Jones never did hit the turf. He is a load in there running the football. Jones is 6'1", 200-pound junior. That'll bring up a 4th down, a short gain to the 41. A lot of effort there by Jones. Looks like Heitman will stay in the game at QB. Don't know the status on starting quarterback Andrew Houck. Big play here, 4th down. We'll call it 4th and 11. Minute 5 left to play in the 3rd. Heitman gets the center exchange. He's going to run. Throws on the run, complete. Schultz has the 25-yard line. Scoots down to about the 20. Looks like he's going to have the 1st and 10. Run pass option there by Heitman. Rolled to his right. Before he got to the line of scrimmage, he threw a dart in the sure hands of senior wide receiver Wyatt Schultz. Comes up with a catch and moved the chains. Big 4th down and 11 play. 1st and 10, new set of downs at the 22. Inside a minute to play, 55 seconds to be exact here in the 3rd quarter. Keeps this drive alive at the 22-yard line. Heitman stays in. Dakari Jones on his left hip. Receivers right and left. Handoff Jones. Tries to pick his hole and does. Down to the 20, down to the 15, stays on his feet, pushing, yearning, down to the 5-yard line. All effort with a capital E goes to Dakari Jones. At halftime, we talked about generational talent coming in through your program, Wayne, and this might be one of those generational later. Dakari Jones has played a nice job.
He's a nice athlete, very, very smart kid. Just very good basketball player too. Good hands, good feet.
1st and goal at the 7-yard line. Knocking on the door. 47 seconds to play in the 3rd. Heitman's come in and done a nice job. Handoff Jones bounces to the left side and cut down inside the 5, closer to the 3. 2nd and goal from the 3. Let's see if they get this play off the end of the 3rd quarter.
In case Andrew's grandparents are listening and not here, which I doubt they're probably here, but Andrew didn't get hurt. He lost his helmet, got taken off on a carry, and he had to go off. And they just kind of let the hot hand let Preston stay in for this series. It looks like so. Andrew's over there right by coach. So.
And now we do have a downed Parsons player at the 3-yard line. Can't see the number from here, but the coaching staff is around that young man. See if they can get him onto his feet or see what the problem is. Let's take a 30-second timeout. Send it back to the studios. You're listening to V93 FM, the radio voice of the Parsons Vikings.
Here's a bright idea. Streaming without buffering. It's not 2014. There's no reason for laggy internet and buffering shows. IdeaTech has the technology. It's fiber optic cable. IdeaTech has brought high-speed fiber to 75 communities and counting. Don't put up with outdated internet. Stream without buffering. Another bright idea from IdeaTech.
Here at Atchison at Amelia Earhart Stadium and Field. 30 seconds to play. We're trying to get the number of the injured Parsons player with assistance came off the field. It's across the field from us. We're trying to get the number to see if it was a lineman or maybe a running back. The ball carrier was Dakari Jones. Now it looks like Largent's going to be in the backfield. Second down and goal from the 3-yard line, 30 seconds to play. Direct snap, pushes, drives, and touchdown. Touchdown for Parsons from the 3-yard line. That's the quarterback, Preston Heitman, who came in for the starter, Andrew Houck, and cashes it in with 24 seconds to play here in the fourth quarter on a 3-yard touchdown run. Looks like the Vikings are going to go ahead and go for 2. And they will. Center exchange thrown across the middle, and it is complete. And that was Houck who came back in and made the catch, or made the throw rather. It was caught over the middle. Looks like by Wyatt Schultz. 2-point conversion's good. And that makes it 40-20 with 24 seconds to play in the third quarter. We'll keep it here with 24 seconds to play. Tonight's game brought to you by Tank Connection, Carson Wall Funeral Homes, and IdeaTech. All great sponsors of Parsons High School football. Vikings trail 27-6 and have outscored Atchison 14-13 here in the third quarter. No give up in these Vikings. Do they have enough to come all the way back, or just get momentum as they head into next week's home game against Columbus? Hazen will tee it up at the 40. Let's see if he kicks it deep or maybe tries another onside kick. 2 kicks ago, it was a squib kick that was fumbled and nearly recovered. This one hits the ground again. It's loose. That's a live ball. Picked up by a Phoenix player at the 18-yard line. I like that idea. That squib kick, that is a live football, and Jeremiah Thompson just fell on it. That prevents that run back. So now Parsons needs a turnover here with 24 seconds to play on this possession. Maybe not on this possession, but this while they've got the football. Let's see if the Vikings defense can come up with a stop. Try to cash another one in and then put more pressure on Atchison. Bonnell has had a heck of a game. Zydron Mays has caught 3 touchdown passes. Loads of talent on this offensive unit for the Phoenix. They'll take it to the run outside, and there's Mays. There's a man in front of him. Cuts down the sidelines. There's going to be a flag, and then a hard hit at the 40-yard line. Oh, my. Wyatt Schultz put the lumber on Mays, and he is still down. And it was a fair hit. He was still in bounds at the 40-yard line and went sailing into the Atchison bench. But there was a flag thrown back at the line of scrimmage. It looks like it's going to go against Atchison. So this play may be coming back. Let's just hope that Zydron Mays is all right. That was a hit by Wyatt Schultz. How do you do? Penalties will be a holding call against Atchison. This game has been marred, started in the middle of the second quarter, folks, and has been marred with penalties ever since. They'll mark the ball at the 17-yard line. 1st and 13. Penalty on the point of infraction was marked off. Handoff straight ahead. Still on his feet, then wrestled down at the 21-yard line. That was Leighton Boldridge. And then another flag has been thrown again. This time by the head referee back at the 15-yard line. With 14 seconds to play, we'll have another conversation. Might have been a little extracurricular activity or not. Like in basketball, the officials they officiate the game being played. If there's extracurricular stuff being done, they'll just continue to throw flags. Or in basketball, just continue to call fouls. We also have a player down at about the 23-yard line for Atchison.
Mark, before the game, I was talking to, just happened to be one of the assistant coaches for Atchison is Brian Keegan, who I actually grew up with. Didn't know he was here. He's a few years younger than me. I played with his brother, but he's a school psychologist here, an assistant coach. But he was telling me that Coach Malcolm is, really trying to instill discipline. He's they've played a lot of games with suspended kids, trying to change the way of thinking, trying to change the culture, and I think he's pulled a couple kids tonight that had personal fouls. So he's really trying to work these kids and get them to be on the same wavelength as him.
The injured Phoenix player was number 57, senior Avante Housebattle, walking off on his own accord. Looked like there was a cramp maybe in that right leg, right calf. They worked on that, and so Housebattle's being able to come off the field. 14 seconds left in the third, and Atchison is moving the wrong way. They're back at their 10-yard line and face second and Neodesha here. 2nd and 19 to try to make a 1st and 10. Here's where Parsons needs to step up. Might be a little farther than Neodesha's, maybe a little farther. But you get what I'm trying to say?
That's good. That's good.
So second and 19, and the clock is going to wind down here, and it'll get us to the exit of the third quarter. We played 36 minutes. Wild one. 60 points scored. How about that? 40-20, Atchison leads. A determined bunch of Vikings. You're listening to V93, the radio home of the Parsons Vikings. More after this.
Discover what you've been missing in Parsons, Kansas. Curious Minds Discovery Zone, a children's museum that inspires a love of learning, with hands-on exhibits for all ages to imagine, create, learn, and discover. Kids enjoy looking through microscopes, building on our magnetic ball run wall, creative play in our doctor's office or grocery store, and lots more. Discover, explore, Parsons, Kansas.
"12 minutes to play." Big play here for Atchison as we walk to the other end of the field. It'll be 2nd and 19 at the 10-yard line.
Real quick, while we're, you brought up, Coach took him to KU today to have a tour. David Lawrence, the one of the voices of the Kansas Jayhawks, he's a Parsons grad, Parsons High School. So David hooked Jeff up and
nice.
and arranged a tour, and and give the kids an experience on the way up to break up the trip a little bit. So thanks to David Lawrence if you're listening.
Jackson a bye week this week and then get ready for the in-state showdown against K-State. Big game next Saturday in Lawrence. All right, 2nd and 19, 12 minutes. Let's see what happens here. Parsons team just hanging in there, just hanging around and hanging around. Option, that shuttle pass once again to Yogi Purdy. That has worked all night. No spy on number 8 there defensively. Purdy just from that slot back position runs across the line of scrimmage and boom, and now Purdy's on his backside at about the 23-yard line.
The last 3 injuries, Boldridge and these kids are all cramping up. I mean, that's every one of them has been a cramp. All of them come back in the game, but maybe we can take advantage of this, and maybe it'll slow them down a little bit and get a stop.
It was 85 degrees here, maybe the hottest day left in the year. I know it's going to get a little cooler, but it was 85, and even with the rain we played, and this is our 7th game, you'd think, well, would cramping still be? Yes, because you're playing in middle of October, and it's still hot and muggy out there, and that can affect players, and we've got a Atchison player down working on this young man. As you said, Wayne, it looks like it's a cramp, but boy, it's affecting both teams. Did some games in late August in my career in Kansas City, and we see that a lot early in the season. And that's Purdy. One heck of a football player is number 8. And first name Yogi, just like Yogi Berra.
I do believe his brother. I could be wrong, but I believe his brother is a starter at Northern Arizona currently. So,
well, he's a heck of a ball player. It's good to see him walk off. Folks, a lot of you have had cramps. When you get that cramp, boy, there's nothing worse. And you go down, but taking his time as he comes off the field. 3rd down and 5, a 14-yard run after the catch on that shuttle pass. And it's 3rd and a makeable 5 here. Parsons defense needs to dig in, get a stop or get a turnover. Still doable here, 40-20. One time it was 40-12. And then jumping off sides on the hard count. Can't do that, folks. That's going to count. That's going to cost Parsons 5. I don't know if it will give them the 1st and 10 or not. It's going to be close, just short, though, by about a half a yard. They need to make the 39. They're at the 38 and a half. Not much here. Parsons will dig in again. Again, playing without, not only did losing Henson to injury hurt the offense, it hurts them defensively as well because Henson's their best defensive player. There's the handoff. Enough for the 1st and 10. Stays on his feet and dropped at the 34-yard line is number 7, Leighton Boldridge. So move the chains at 11:19 to play. A new set of downs at the 34-yard line, left hash, going left to right. Just the 2nd game played on this new facility here. They got the track in, the turf down. It is a nice facility here in Atchison. Been a few years since I've been to Atchison. I think the last time was a Ravens football game that did not do well for Avila. I was the voice of Avila for a while. But Benedictine had some great teams up here with Coach Wilcox. They named the field after him, I think, didn't they? Yes. Yeah, so good guy. It was always good for an interview. 1st and 10, 34-yard line. Bonnell stays in, throws the pass, and low pass. Mays needs to come down, make the catch. He does, and they're going to call it incomplete, so he trapped it. Hasn't been many incompletions here for Bonnell. Well, that's one of them. Now 2nd down and 10 at the 34. 10 and 33 to play here in the 4th quarter. Entertaining game. The steady offense, then the special teams. We've talked about that numerous times. And then the big play offense for Atchison.
I really think in the first half, without Chandler, the defense was kind of lost. He's the one that always makes that first hit, that first tackle. And, they've adjusted well the second half.
That's a great point. They sure have. I think they were lost on those two big plays without their playmaker in there, defensive playmaker. Then the pass is caught, but it's a low throw by Bonnell. Mays makes the catch, but that loses yardage. Now it's 3rd down and 14. Another big play. Purdy is out. Don't see number 8 in the lineup here. He's been their 3rd down guy. And he is not on the field. So it may take that shovel pass away. 3rd and 14 in the left hash on the 30-yard line. Just inside 10 minutes to play here in the 4th. 40-20 Atchison. Out of the gun. Bonnell. Play action. Gets the rush. The rush is on. The pass is incomplete. Nearly picked off. Nearly intercepted.
Braylon had, he would have scored. It just looked up and the ball went by him.
So that'll bring up a 4th and 14. 9:45 to play in the first punt of the game, and that's Bonnell. He kicks away as well. He'll be standing at his 17. Schultz back along with Elijah Hunsley. There's the kick. Nice kick. Line drive. It's going to be hit at the 35 and takes a huge bounce. Not running up to try to catch the ball were the deep backs, and that cost Parsons field position about 20 yards. So that boot goes all the way to the 15-yard line. Not a lot of hang time, but a line drive. But it was one of those odd, do I run up and catch it or what? Let it bounce, and that with that forward momentum and that end-over-end ball movement, moves it all the way to the 15-yard line. So with 9:34 to play, trailing by 3 scores, Parsons will have the football back. See if they can do some more damage here against this Atchison Phoenix defense. Stay tuned for the Bowen Pharmacy postgame show. We'll recap the scoring, get you ready for next Friday night. Big home game against Columbus. And then off to the district playoffs 2 weeks from tonight. Halloween. How about that? High school football on a Halloween night. Houck's back in, throws, and it's going to be nearly intercepted. Houck tried to get rid of it to a safety valve, and the bad thing about it, he was wearing a red shirt. Threw it to a defensive lineman, and he goes, hey, what do I have? And couldn't hang on to it. Bring up a 2nd down and 10. I like the play call, but got to throw it to somebody who's got a gold helmet. 2nd down and 10 at the 15. That was a big, big mistake not fielding that punt, because that just gave the Atchison defense some great field position back at the 15. Let's see if we see Dakari Jones in the lineup. Out of the shotgun. 2nd down and 10. Low snap. Handoff, tries to get to the outside. And that's going to be Jakari Green. Gets a hard-earned 5 yards out to the 20-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5. Check that. I think that was Dakari Jones. My mistake on that. Thought it might have been Jakari Green, but no. It's good to see that Dakari Jones is back in the lineup here. 3rd down, 4. Big play here. Parsons to keep the football, 8:45 to play here in the 4th quarter. Houck gets the center exchange. Pass overthrown. Got rid of it a little too hot and sealed it over the head of his intended receiver, Wyatt Schultz. Didn't really stride into that throw at all. Just kind of kept his feet moving, threw off his back foot, and just sailed it over the head of Wyatt Schultz. Now 4th down, a punt time here for Parsons with 8:30 to play here in the 4th quarter. Schultz will stand at his 10-yard line to boot this away. And then he's going to fake the kick. Going to go for it and make the 1st and 10. Wyatt Schultz runs it out to the 34-yard line. Did that rugby style of kick that he does, but then saw an opportunity, and pretty much that is his read. If he sees the read and has the opening, he's got the green light to go for it. He did, and turns it into a 1st and 10. Parsons keeps the football. They move it to the 33.
Mark, the Vikings listeners know this, but Mark Wyatt is a two-time state runner-up tennis player. He's quite the tennis. Schultz are long history of tennis players in Parsons, and Wyatt's excellent.
Well, he skipped around that right end and ran it up the field and got a new set of downs for the Vikings. Inside of 8 to play. Clock running. 1st and 10. Handoff Jones. Makes a man miss. Spin move. Gets tripped up and falls forward to the 38-yard line. Another solid game. I'll be interested to see total stats on this game. As Parsons has moved the football, they've been able to run the football. Big plays. You take away those 2 big plays early on, since it was 13-0. Since then, it's been 27-20 in favor of Atchison. And we're not looking for, just a consolation prizes here. Vikings are here to win the football game. But since then, and then once they got a little bit balance, there's a throw over the middle and throws it behind Wyatt Schultz. Andre Ford was down the field at about the 40. The hot read was to Schultz. If he maybe had pump faked that and looked just to it, looked at his other options, Ford was streaking down the field, no one near him.
Yeah, they run that. He throws that sidearm deal, but Coach Martinez needs to see that. I think you're right. Exactly. He pump fakes him. He has a wide open.
I'd come right back to that play. 3rd down, you're probably in 4-down situation with 7:08 to play at the 37-yard line, 30 near the 38. 3rd down, call it 5. Receivers right and left. Handoff, go back to Mr. Reliable. Why not? Jones pushing, yearning, trying to get those extra yards. Is tackle at the 40-yard line, brings up a manageable 4th and 3 here for Parsons, and I think it's go time if you're in Vikings Nation. Gather around that radio and go, hey, let's go Vikings. Let's put one on the board. Another player is down. Looks like it's an Atchison player at the 40-yard line.
If you're watching the live stream, and if not, Chandler is, he's walking around. He's with the coaches the whole time. He's standing by either the defensive or offensive coach, cheering the players that are coming off the field. So he's dinged up. He's not playing, of course, but he is right in the middle of it, being the great leader he is.
We'll stay with this for another 30 seconds before we go to break. It looks like it's another cramping issue for an Atchison player. Again, it's not a little muggy, still probably in the 70s here. We dodged the rain. The rain got here when we got into Atchison. A little lightning and thunder, and every time it lightnings, and this is not a good sign. Limping off and favoring that left ankle is super wide receiver Zydron Mays, who also plays right cornerback. Maybe ankle or just maybe that calf, I should say, because it looked like that maybe was a cramp on how they were dealing with it. So, tell you, I've seen a lot of good receivers and quick. Boy, Zydron Mays is right up there with them. This Atchison team's got some weapons. Their challenge is probably defensively. Can they slow people down? Because they can put points on the board. Their coach is telling me that game against Washington, it was 61-28 at halftime. That's 89 points scored in 24 minutes. And then a nice hard count that time by Andrew Houck. Turnabout's fair play, baby. 2 of the Phoenix jump off sides. That'll give 5 yards. Thank you very much. And a new set of downs at the 45-yard line in Parsons territory with 6 and change to play. 6:38 to be exact. 1st and 10 here for Parsons. Trying to navigate their way down the field and cash 6 more in.
Actually, Preston's in at quarterback on this.
Preston Heitman, number 18, the sophomore, who led him to a touchdown. That's 6 yards behind his quarterback, behind his center. Back to throw, seam pattern. There's Schultz, and is tipped away at the very end. Good defensive play. That might have saved a long gainer. Xavier Butler, the defensive back, comes off the bench. Schultz was going up there. He could see it. His eyes were as big as saucers, I'm sure, to see that football, but nice play by number 27, Xavier Butler. Brings up 2nd and 10, but I like the throw. I like the idea. Little post pattern to try to connect on a big play. 2nd and 10. 6:20 to play here in the 4th, 40-20. Atchison to Parsons trying to drive it once again. They've won the second half, 14-13. Center exchange. Heitman back. He's going to wind up, throw it down the field. Nice spiral coming back to the ball and knocked away. Schultz did a great job of reading that throw. So he stopped his momentum, circled back, got his body between him and the defender, but a great play defensively for Atchison. And that was Noah Martin. I don't bring up a 3rd down play to be able to knock that pass down, but had a lot on that. We had a penalty, and that's going to go against Atchison. Another personal foul, 15-yard gain. Well, when you look at total offense, you're going to have to include Parsons, Atchison, penalties on how much offense that these teams have gained via the flag. 1st and 10 at the 44, new set of downs in Atchison territory. 6 and 14 to play here in the 4th quarter. Now, I like that. I was getting back, waiting on that throw. That's a nice throw by Preston.
Yeah,
Heitman.
Throws a good ball. He throws a good ball.
Now a stoppage of play by our head referee, Brad Williams. So they're seeing where they're going to mark this ball at. They've got it marked right at the, just inside the 45-yard line. And I don't think they're done marking it off. They didn't give him enough penalty yardage on the penalty. Nice pickup. That's what a good refereeing crew does. They huddle together and, hey, let's get the call right, and they did. Nice job. Hats off. 1st and 10, now at the 40-yard line. 6:14 to play. Clock will start. Handoff. There he is. Oh, and just tripped up. Dakari Jones had a full steam ahead on that and gets tripped up at the 35-yard line. Falls forward to the 34. 2nd down and 6. So you're gonna get a little 1-2 combo. You get Chandler Hedson back next week. If he's good to go, and Dakari Jones got like a 2-headed monster here. 2nd and 5. Low snap, handoff Jones. Straight ahead. Likes the contact, no doubt about it. He pulls his way inside the 30 and knocked down at the 27-yard line. Runs kind of straight up a little bit instead of bending over a little bit, and he'll learn that. He'll learn how to get down a little bit more. Runs straight up, but doesn't mind the contact one bit. 1st and 10, new set of downs at the 27-yard line. Got to get the feeling here that this offensive line is just wearing out this Atchison team right now as they march down the field. Time is a big concern. 5 and 10 to play. Heitman wants to throw. Corner route. Back shoulder throw. Makes a catch at the 5, 2, 1, and he stopped there. What a throw and a back shoulder throw. Herculean effort. Is that Wyatt Schultz on that catch? 21, yes sirree. Your leading receiver makes another dynamite catch. and puts it down the 1 yard line. Back shoulder throw. 2 1, and he stopped there. What a throw and a back shoulder throw. Herculean effort. Is that Wyatt Schultz on that catch? 21, yes sirree. Your leading receiver makes another dynamite catch and puts it down the 1 yard line. Preston Hypenfoe, he's just a sophomore too. Now out of the gun at the 1 yard line. There's the center exchange. Jones pushes, drives, touchdown! Touchdown! The 4:50 mark of the fourth quarter. 1 yard run. Dakari Jones takes it in from the 1 yard line. Parsons draws within 14 with 4:50 left. I've done enough games. No lead's big enough. Anything can happen. Now, do you kick the extra point or do you go for two here? I think you go for two. Kicking game is not real reliable. Still a work in progress. 4 for 10, PAT. Let's cash it in from the 3. Out of the shotgun. Guess who? Maybe 15? What do you think? There's a center exchange. Low snap, and they're going to have a false start. Penalty flag down, which might come back to benefit them because the play was getting blown up a little bit. Because he dropped the center exchange. That would have messed up everything. So that pushes the ball back to the 8. See, you're down by 14. There's no harm, no foul here. To make it a 2, you're still down 2 possessions and 2 touchdowns either way. If you make the 2 or miss the 2.
The dimension that Heitman brings, the RPO, he can run and throw, and now we're going to kick the ball. But Heitman looked like he was going to do a rollout left and have an RPO.
Adam Reel will attempt it from the 15. It'll be a 25-yarder. Kick is on the way. Line drive kick, and it is good. He put it through there. Gets hit as he goes down, or I guess that was Schultz, the holder, but count the extra point. We'll take a break. 4:50 to play. Don't go away. 40-27 Atchison. You're listening to V93 FM, the home of the Parsons Vikings football team.
The need for an increased demand in qualified radiographers. Our radiography students will train on the latest technology in a hospital simulation environment.
I wanted to be able to go into a career where I could help people. And if you're going to go into that field in this part of the four-state area, LCC is the only place to come.
Tuition is nearly half the cost of universities. Scholarship and financial aid available for those who qualify. Text radiography to 620-293-6671 for more information or visit labette.edu.
Back here with 4:50 to play. 40-27. What a second half. 21 points put on the board, trailing 27-6 at halftime. They've outscored Atchison 21-13 here in the second half. Is there enough gas in the tank to try to get the ball twice more? You're going to need an onside kick, and why not go for it now? Those squib kicks by Dylan Hazen, and he's back in there, have shut down the kick return. They'll have 5 up front, 10 yards away at the 50. What you try to do is you aim this at somebody and get maybe a ricochet off a knee or a shoulder pad or something. Let's see what happens here. There's the kick. It's on the ground, picked up and swallowed up there by number 5, Cameron Thompson.
He doesn't get any kickoff. He doesn't get the ball to, you're supposed to get it to pop up in the air.
Yeah, you want to get that second bounce that goes high, but they just didn't do it that way, and they were able to fall on it. Now you need a turnover. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line, 4:50. Nothing went off the clock on that play either, but so it's 40-27. Stay tuned for the Bowen Pharmacy postgame show. We'll recap the scoring, set the stage for the Columbus game next Friday night in Parsons. Bonwell's gone all the way. Handoff. Hit in the backfield, dropped. Back at the 44, loss of 1, 2nd down and 11. That was Jack Bilderback, number 20, his first run. James Earl will check in, tight end. Clock's a factor, 4:15 to play. No hurry is Atchison. Clock is their ally. Parsons like to get their hands on that football one more time. Way to do that is force a 3 and out. Second 11 at the 44-yard line. Atchison territory. Handoff, Bilderback has some room to run, just follows his lead blockers, and a late flag comes in again, thrown by the referee back at the 45-yard line. That was a 10-yard pickup, short of the 1st and 10, but it might be coming back. And it will be. They'll mark it off from the infraction. Holding again. When you're holding, you're getting beat. And that's why you hold. And that's going to cost Atchison some real estate back at the 36-yard line. Now a 2nd and 11 has turned into a 2nd and 19. Clock continues to run, 3 and 40 to play. Would Bonnell put it in the air or just trying to run the clock? Handoff, Bilderback again. He's going to get stood up, dropped at the 39, maybe forward momentum to the 39. That's where they're going to mark it. That'll bring up 3rd down. We'll call it 3rd and 16. 3rd and 16, and Parsons going to burn a timeout. We will too. 3:16 to play. Take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to V93, the home of the Parsons Vikings.
With many years of combined experience, Eye Care Associates of Parsons has set the framework in providing comprehensive eye health examinations for all ages and routine vision care for families throughout the 4-state area. Our optometrists and staff provide remarkable care with state-of-the-art technology to help with diagnosis and management of eye health conditions. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your next eye exam. Eye Care Associates of Parsons. Experience modern eye care.
.316 to play here in the 4th quarter. A rally has brought Parsons within 13 at 40-27. Atchison faces a 3rd and 16. 3rd and 16 with 3:18 to play. So if we can hold them here, force a punt. Special teams have been big tonight, especially in returning kickoffs. Maybe Parsons could get a break. Return something big, and you never know. That's why you play the game. Big play here, 3rd and 16. Does Bonnell for Atchison put it in the air? He doesn't. Handed off. Bilderback runs into trouble and dropped at the 41-yard line. Good tackle there by this Parsons defense. You made a good point, Wayne. They regained their footing after those two, haymakers. The 86-yard pass, the 60-yard touchdown run when their superstar Chandler Henson is not on the field. Parsons will take another timeout. We'll go ahead and keep it here. 3:11 to play and brings up a 4th and 14. But you take those two plays off, then it's been pretty much an even game. Since then, it's been dead even.
Yeah, Jeff's not going to come up after the game. They're going to get out of here. We talked ahead of time, and so he's not going to come up. But I really feel like he'll tell you afterwards that the kids had to adjust. They couldn't depend on Chandler, and that sounds crazy, but I think teams have a leader and an alpha, and that's Chandler on offense and defense both. And so I think they've really adjusted and have a chance. These kids got pride. They're working hard, and there's a lot of sophomores playing. The future's bright for the Parsons Vikings.
Yeah, and Henson had his way in that first drive, and Dakari Jones came in and, he's using that template to get big yards here. Back to punt is the quarterback. Bonnell, and that was nearly blocked. No flag thrown down, and it's going to be returned. 30, 35. And that is Elijah Hunsley. And we've got another Atchison player down at the 35-yard line. They nearly blocked that kick. That was close. Maybe a little contact, not enough to get a flag. Atchison player down at the 35-yard line in Parsons territory. Boy, the athletic training staff on both these teams have been active tonight. And they're looking at the young man now. Let's go ahead and take a break. Let's take a 1-minute timeout. I think we're safe with that. Back in a minute, 3:01 to play. 40-27, Atchison over the Parsons Vikings. This is B93, home of the Parsons Vikings.
Life is about movement, and the human body is like any high-performance machine. When miles add up, parts wear down, and that's when pain begins, and here's where it ends. At Labette Health, our nationally recognized orthopedic and sports medicine surgeons use advanced techniques to reduce recovery times and relieve pain for miles to come. Feel like new again at Labette Health in Parsons, Kansas. For more information, go to labettehealth.com.
In 2003, Tank Connection founders envisioned a Southeast Kansas-based company dedicated to innovating voltage storage tanks, offering superior products and services through a customer-focused team. 2 decades later, and products in 64 countries and on 6 continents, this vision endures. Tank Connection employee owners are dedicated to a future where their shared purpose brings empowered realities to as many lives as possible.
Heitman drops the center exchange. Now he's going to have to run. Needs a block. Turns to the corner. Down to the 15, 10, 5, and knocked down at the 3-yard line. A mistake into a near touchdown for Preston Heitman. That'll stop the clock as they move the chains. Heitman dropped the center exchange, picked it up, ran to the left, down to block, and took it all the way down to the 3-yard line. 2:19, clock continues to run now. First and goal from the 3. Heitman in the shotgun. And Dakari Jones might have stepped. No flag done. Jones in for a touchdown. No flag. Jones moved. Jones, the running back, moved before the play. The center exchange came. The handoff. Jones takes it in for his 4th touchdown of the game. And, folks, we got a 40-33 game with 2:06 to play in the 4th.
Wow. I mean, that Dakari knew he had a penalty. He moved and then put his head down like, oh gosh, what have I done? But he finished the play. Wow, that was a great turn of events there for the Vikes.
Adam Reel tried to get back-to-back PATs. Ball is fumbled, and then a late flag is thrown. It might be a false start. Nope, that's going to be an offsides. Offsides against Atchison. That'll move it half the way to the 1. Now what do? You've got Adam Reel to kick. They're going to stay with the extra point. That'll get them within 6. 2:06 to play.
Gosh.
Stoppage of play, maybe to reset the football. What a second half for this Parsons Vikings team. A game they lost 48-0 a year ago to this same team, trailed 27-6 at halftime, and they're knocking on the door to make it a 40-34 game with 2:06 to play. We having fun yet or not? You bet. There's this ball down. Kick is up. Has to rush it. Does it get over? Yes! By about 2 feet and went across that crossbar. It all counts, baby. 2:06 to play. Don't go away. 40-34. The Phoenix leads by 6. This is V93, the radio home of the Parsons Vikings.
In 2003, Tank Connection founders envisioned a Southeast Kansas-based company dedicated to innovating bolted storage tanks, offering superior products and services through a customer-focused team. 2 decades later, and products in 64 countries and on 6 continents, this vision endures. Tank Connection employee owners are dedicated to a future where their shared purpose brings empowered realities to as many lives as possible.
.206 to play. 2:06 to play here in the fourth quarter. I'll get my mic set up here. 2:06 to play. The 4th touchdown of the game by Dakari Jones, a 3-yard run, has brought Parsons all the way back to within 1 score with 2:06 to play. Now you're thinking onside kick, of course. Get the ball back is the key. And also number 8 is back on the field. And burning a timeout, we'll go ahead and keep it here. This game was 13-0 at the end of the first quarter. 27-6 at halftime. 40-20 at the end of the third quarter. And now it's 40-34. Atchison scored their last touchdown with 5:31 to play in the third quarter. Since then, Parsons has scored 22 unanswered points to crawl within a 40-34 disadvantage by 6. We'll go through all the scoring of the game in our post-game show, so please stay tuned for the Bowen Pharmacy post-game show coming up right after this broadcast. We'll not have a chance to catch up with Coach Scheibe. They're going to get on the road. They got a long trip back to Parsons. But we've still got a long way to go. 2:06 to play. Only one turnover in this game. One turnover in this game, and that was the fumble by Dakari Jones that resulted in a touchdown. That's the difference right now, is that turnover.
I kick it over.
There's the kick. It gets that high, and it goes right into the hands. The onside kick is recovered at the 48-yard line by Atchison. That was Xavier Gaden, wide receiver and defensive back. Did a nice job of corralling that football. Now you try to, one person tackles, the other person tries to strip the ball carrier here. You wouldn't think Atchison would put it in the air. 1st and 10 at the 49. Handoff straight ahead, some room to run, but then nice job filling up the box. They'll give him a 1-yard gain. Is Leighton Boldridge. Gain of 2, actually. No, we're going to call it 1. 2nd down and 9, ball at the 50-yard line. Minute 57 to play, and timeout for Parsons. We'll go ahead and keep it here. So, Dakari Jones came into this game with a total of 19 carries in 6 games for 67 yards and 2 touchdowns. We don't have the totals on his yards yet for this game. He's got to be north of 100 yards. But I can tell you that he's got 4 touchdowns. So when he gets inside the 5-yard line, he has a nose for the turf of getting it into the end zone, because he's done it 4 times tonight. Again, Parsons lost their superstar, Chandler Henson, early in this game due to an injury. Dakari Jones has stepped up, not only offensively but defensively. Parsons' team has really regained and now trying to get the football back with a minute 57 left to play. There's the handoff, a little stutter step by Mays, gets to the outside. Flag goes down. There's going to be another illegal block. So negate the first down run by Mays, who bobbled that handoff. But another flag is thrown. Penalties are just dominating this game. And a lot of those hankies have been aimed at Atchison here in the second half. And they're going to back them up now from the 50 point of infraction. They'll mark it back at least 10 yards on a holding call to the 40-yard line. That stops the clock with a minute 51 to play. 2nd down, we'll call it 2nd and 19. 2nd and 19, minute 51 left.
Mays is so fast. You just can't let him get to the edge. I mean,
you've got to have a spy on wherever he goes. Somebody has to go with him. Parsons trying to get a turnover. Man in motion's Mays. Jet sweep. Nearly lost it again. Tries to turn the corner and does. 50, 45, and knocked hard at the 42-yard line, short of the 1st and 10. Wyatt Schultz put some lumber, lowered that right shoulder, and blasted Mays.
He cramped up again.
And Mays is down. He took a heck of a pop. What speed, though, when he turned that corner, tried to extend that play. The defense did and get outside but couldn't. Mays is just too quick. And that gets a 3rd down and 1, and this could be the clincher here. 3rd and 1, clock running. Parsons out of timeouts. Ball game right here. Third down and 1 minute 8 to play. Up to the line of scrimmage. Center exchange. Handoff's going to get hit and run. And is he down yet? Not yet. He stays on his feet and it finally hits the turf at the 46. They do not make it. Loss of 5. Good interior push. Getting into that backfield was this Parsons defense. Xavier Bull led the way. Now, does Parsons have a timeout?
It's an official's timeout. He just said it's his timeout.
Official's timeout with 48 seconds to play. 40-34, fourth down, 5.
He just put 5. It's 52 seconds left. He just put.
They're going to reset the clock, thank you, to 52 seconds. Fourth down, 5. What do you do here? 50 seconds to play, 22 on the play clock. Difference of about 30 seconds. So Parsons can hold. They will get the ball back with some time left on the clock. Big play here, fourth down, 5, 37 seconds, 9 on the play clock. They'll try to milk this all the way down. 5 seconds, 4 seconds on the play clock. 2, 1, and they don't get that play off. That'll stop the clock at 25 seconds and cost Atchison 5 yards on delay of game. Bonnell was clapping his hands at his center, sophomore Grady Clark, but could not get the center exchange. So that's going to put the Phoenix back 5 yards, and now you go for the punt block.
And they don't punt very often.
They don't.
You never know what's going to happen.
And the last one was nearly blocked.
We almost blocked it, yep.
23 seconds to play. Clock is stopped. Fourth down, 10 at the 49. Colton Bonnell, the quarterback, also punter, place kicker, extraordinaire. And Atchison wants a timeout, and we're going to keep it here for we don't miss anything. Atchison is like that boxer who has led most of the way, but late in that 14th, 15th round is starting to get a little wary because the challenger, this being the Parsons Vikings, have not gone down. They went down early, got back up and said, hey, we're not going down no more. And they have been battling their way, and they've got a fighter's chance right now to make a huge play here on special teams, which they have done all night on running back kicks. They could get somebody in there and block this kick. Look out. 23 seconds to play, 40-34. This game was once 40-12. 40-12 with 5:31 to play in the third quarter, 17 minutes ago. Two people are going back. They're going to see if they can get this kick. There's the center exchange. Here comes the kick, and he gets it away. Booms a kick. It'll be fielded at the 15 by Schultz. 20, 25, cuts to the outside, splits 2 men, gets pulled down at the 22-yard line with 13 seconds left. We'll give it up to Atchison special teams. Great center exchange by the long snapper, Grady Clark. Bonnell, the kicker, took his time and blasted a kick. Schultz did what he could. 13 seconds left. Now it's penalty time and Hail Mary, or one of those lateral plays that you see on pro football or college. Does anybody remember Stanford? The Stanford Cal game.
Or the Boston College. That was Doug Flutie's.
I don't know if Preston can throw it 80 yards or not. 13 seconds to play. Nobody is left here at Amelia Earhart Stadium. Heitman gets it, looks, out route's going to be incomplete. 10 seconds to play, second down and 10, that's unimportant. Second and 10 at the 22. What you need to try to do, they're going to give you the outside. What you want to get is a seam pattern here to split 2 defenders and get somebody on the move running down the field. Get it to your fastest player, that's probably going to be Wyatt Schultz. You said he was a tennis player?
He's a tennis player. He's a runner. He can run a little bit too.
What you try to do is to find that seam, split 2 of these split 2 of these defensive backs, find a seam, put it to him, paint it to his chest plate, and let him go to the races. 10 seconds to play, out of timeouts. Heitman gets the center exchange, hands off. Gets it to Dakari Jones. I don't understand that play at all as he's bottled up at the 23-yard line, and that's going to end it. Atchison survives, and I mean survives with a capital S. Our final, Atchison 40, Parsons 34. Our post-game show brought to you by Bowen Pharmacy is coming to you next. This is coverage of Parsons Viking football on Feed 93.